Hi, Brie.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A great movie.
Thank you.
Tell me, what was it like? It's harrowing to watch at times. What was it like for you to make?
It's really fun. um, Lenny, our director, is one of the funniest people I've ever met, and Jacob is a riot. So I know it seems hard to believe, but we had a so that I'm not there all the time, that I can speak with you as me in between takes, and I'm not just like constantly in this sort of depressed state.
Tell me, what came first? Had you read the book when the film came to you? Did you already know it at
I
that
had
point?
read the book before, yeah, before the film came to me.
And what did you think of the book?
I loved the book. Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
And did you think, because when I read it originally, back in 2010, I guess, when it was published, I did wonder if somebody was going to make a film at some point, but I did wonder how they would do it. Did you have those feelings too?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, abstractly, not like specifically. Like, I bet you they'll make a movie about this, and I wonder how they'll do it. I'm an avid reader, and anytime, because I make movies for a living, I think anytime I read a book, I see it all very visually. So I visualized it, but I could never really see Ma. I never like Ma was just sort of like a color to me. She
Okay.
wasn't like a full being.
Because it's Jack's voice, isn't it, in the book? So how did when you met with Lenny then, and you were talking about that, how did he explain to you that would change and Ma would become what she is in the film, which is a
Well, just the initial conversations were just that the film would be a great opportunity for the lovers of the book to be able to see more from Ma's perspective. And Emma, the writer of the novel and our screenplay, was excited about that aspect as well. I mean, that was one of her main, I think, interests in making the film was she had so many people come up to her and write her letters saying, can you write the book, from Ma's perspective? And it's like, well, the film would be an incredible opportunity to be able to show that side of her.
it's unusual, isn't it, for an author actually to do the screenplay from their own work. I can't remember the last time that happened. Usually they're happy to pass it on and say, okay, you know, I did the book, but somebody else is going to do the screenplay. What was it like having Emma there and, as an integral part of this?
It was so great. A little nerve wracking at first. Emma is just like a little magic trickster. She's very, very smart, and she never had a formal conversation with me, which really loved. At first, it freaked me out because I was waiting for her to have this moment. She's like, "Let me sit down and tell you everything about Ma and how she's supposed to be," but instead, she never did. I mean, Lenny had everyone that wanted to play Ma audition, and I got the job. I imagined that she watched the audition tape and had say. She's a producer on the film, so I think she just had trust in my interpretation. It seemed to me to just love being there on set and watch it come to life. I think it blew her mind a little bit. I've noticed that with a lot of writers, even if you're not just an author of a book, but of a screenwriter as well. It's like, you're sitting there at your desk and you're like,
Yeah.
this character jumps on the bed. And then your next day you're watching them jump on the bed and you're like, wow, it's so simple. I just wrote a command and these real life people did it.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? And tell me about Jacob, because obviously the heart of this film, the very heart, is Ma and Jack, and it's absolutely essential, that we're watching you two, and we believe you two, and we do. How did you build that relationship up with him that we see on screen? Because he's a very young boy.
Yeah. I mean, we just hung out and just really got on very well. That's it. I mean, there was no like master plan. There was no other plan if we didn't like each other.
No.
We just really lucked out that we just dig each other. He's like my best friend.
And did you, over the course of the film, could you see him sort of developing as an actor? Does he change? Is it,
As the film went on,
yeah.
I have to say he was like pretty skilled when we started. I was very impressed by that. I mean, we could do there's one scene, like the whole unlying sequence where I'm trying to explain to him what the world is, and I feel like that whole scene was maybe like 15 or 16 pages long, and he had the whole thing memorized, could get through the whole thing. We ended up being 2 days ahead of schedule because he was just nailed it, was able to just do it all naturally on his own. But the one moment that I would say that he had never done before, that was a huge moment for him, that he was very proud of, was him crying naturally on camera, that he didn't need help, that he was able to really get to that emotional place on his own and cry, which was, you know, we all made sure that we applauded him a lot, and he was very proud of himself for not needing help with tears.
Emma was saying that, and I think you touched upon this, that people get different things from this book, but it's such a powerful book. She's had reaction from people from all over the world, I believe.
Yeah.
And different, you know, people put different perspectives on it. What was at the heart of the story for you?
Well, initially, my main draw to it was the Plato's Cave allegory, which is one of my favorite stories. And I think it's like a great allegory that everybody can relate to. And then kind of with that is the concept of, you know, room being a physical representation of a mental space, of a tiny, you know, sort of in utero place that is safe in some ways, but is small, and also has its ways that it's just not helpful. And the only way that we can sort of move forward and break out and take this like brave step takes this like innocent child's bravery in order to get them out and into freedom and liberation, and into like the chaos and the madness and the beauty and the robustness of life.